Right now, most people are just one bad day away from a full financial disaster, and they don't even realize it. One car breakdown, one medical bill, one surprise layoff, and their entire life gets thrown into chaos and debt, not because they did anything wrong, but because they were missing one simple thing. That one thing is an emergency fund, and it is the single most important foundation of your entire financial life, more important than investing, more important than budgeting, because without it, one surprise can wipe out everything you've built. Here's the good news: building one is simpler than you think, and you can start this week, even if money feels tight. In the next few minutes I'll show you exactly what an emergency fund is, the myths that leave people exposed, precisely how much you actually need, I'll give you the exact number in a moment, the honest fine print, and how to build yours fast. This is the video that turns you from one surprise away from ruin, into someone that shocks bounce right off of. Stay with me. Welcome to Money Decoded. So let's be clear about what an emergency fund actually is and why it matters more than almost anything else. An emergency fund is simply a stash of cash, set aside and untouched, that exists for one purpose: to cover the unexpected, serious expenses life throws at you. A job loss, a medical bill, an urgent car or home repair. It is not for vacations, not for shopping, not even for investing, it is your personal financial insurance policy. And here's why it's the foundation everything else is built on. Without it, the moment an emergency hits, you have only bad options: put it on a high-interest credit card, take out a loan, or sell your investments at the worst possible time. Any of those can undo years of progress in a single week. But with a cushion of cash, that same emergency becomes a minor annoyance instead of a catastrophe. You just pay it and move on, no debt, no panic, no damage. This is why trying to invest or build wealth without an emergency fund is like building a house with no foundation: one storm and it all comes down. Get this in place, and everything else in your financial life becomes safer and calmer. But most people believe things that leave them dangerously exposed. Let's fix that. Let's destroy the myths that leave people one surprise away from disaster. Myth 1: I don't earn enough to save an emergency fund. But the less you earn, the more devastating an unexpected bill is, and the more you need a cushion. This is built one small amount at a time, and everyone can start, even with a few dollars a week. Myth 2: my credit card is my emergency fund. This is one of the most dangerous beliefs there is, because using debt to handle an emergency just turns one problem into two: the emergency plus a high-interest balance that can haunt you for years. Real cash means no new debt. Myth 3: I should be investing that money instead, so it grows. Not for this money. An emergency fund's job is safety and instant access, not growth, and we'll talk about exactly where it should live. Myth 4: I'll build it later, it's not urgent. Emergencies don't schedule themselves, and the whole point is to have the fund before you need it. Later is exactly when the emergency hits and finds you unprepared. Every one of these myths does the same thing: it leaves you exposed and hoping nothing goes wrong. Hope is not a plan. So here's the plan, starting with the exact number you need. Here's the exact number, and the smart way to hit it in 2 stages, so it never feels overwhelming. Stage 1, your starter emergency fund, $1,000, as fast as you possibly can. This first 1,000 handles the vast majority of life's common emergencies: a car repair, a broken appliance, an unexpected bill, and just having it dramatically lowers your stress and stops most surprises from becoming credit card debt. Get this first, before anything else. Stage 2, your full emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses. And notice, that's essential expenses, not your total income, just what it truly costs to keep your life running: rent, food, utilities, transportation, minimums. Add those up, multiply it by 3 to 6, and that's your target. Use 3 months if your income is stable and secure, and closer to 6 if it's variable or you support a family. Now, where should it live? Not in your checking account where you'll spend it, and not invested in stocks where it can drop right when you need it. The perfect home is a high-yield savings account, completely separate from your daily money. It stays safe, you can access it within a day or two, and it earns real interest while it waits. Safe, separate, and accessible, that's the formula. But there's important fine print. Now the honest fine print, because an emergency fund only works if you use it correctly. First, remember this is insurance, not an investment, so resist the urge to chase growth with it. Its entire job is to be there, safe and instant, the moment you need it. A boring high-yield savings account is perfect. Do not put your emergency fund in the stock market. Second, don't massively oversave into cash either. Once you have your 3 to 6 months, sending even more cash to sit idle means missing out on investing in growth, so there's a sweet spot, enough to be safe, not so much that it's dead money. Third, define what an actual emergency is, and be honest. A true emergency is urgent, necessary, and unexpected, a job loss or a medical bill, not a sale, a vacation, or something you simply want. Protecting this money from your own impulses is half the battle. Fourth, if you ever have to use it, that's a success, that's literally what it's for, but make replenishing it your immediate next priority so you're protected again. Treat it with respect, keep it boring, keep it for real emergencies, and refill it after use. Now let's build yours, fast. So here's your first mission, get that starter $1,000 as fast as humanly possible, and treat it like a sprint, not a marathon. Speed matters here, because until it's in place, you're exposed. Attack it from 3 directions at once. First, find quick cash by selling things you no longer use. That stuff sitting in your closet or garage can become your safety net this week. Second, temporarily slash your spending for a short, intense push, pause the extras, cut the big 3 where you can, and funnel every freed up dollar straight into the fund until you hit 1,000. Third, throw any windfall directly at it, a tax refund, a bonus, birthday money, all of it goes to the fund until it's full. And here's the habit that makes it stick, open a separate high-yield savings account and set up a small automatic transfer into it every payday, so it grows even when you're not thinking about it. The separation matters, out of sight, out of mind, out of reach of impulse spending. Sprint to that first 1,000, and you'll instantly feel a weight lift off your shoulders, because most emergencies just got a lot less scary. Once it's there, you shift from sprint to steady, and that's move 2. With your first 1,000 secured, move 2 is to steadily build your fund up to that full 3 to 6 months of essential expenses, and park it in the right place. Now that the panic buffer exists, you can breathe and go at a sustainable pace. The key is automation. Set up an automatic transfer from every paycheck into your separate high-yield savings account, treat it like a non-negotiable bill you pay to your future self, and just let it grow month after month with almost no effort or willpower required. Even a modest automatic amount adds up to thousands over time. And be intentional about where it lives. A high-yield savings account is ideal because your money stays completely safe and liquid, you can get it in a day or two, and it earns far more interest than a regular checking or basic savings account, so it quietly keeps better pace with inflation while it sits ready. Keep it totally separate from your spending money so you're never tempted to raid it for something that isn't a real emergency. Automate the growth, park it in high-yield savings, and protect it, and within months you'll have a complete financial safety net that turns life's biggest shocks into minor bumps. Let's lock in your first step tonight. Let's make this real with 3 moves tonight. First, calculate your target. Quickly add up your essential monthly expenses, rent, food, utilities, transportation, minimums, and multiply by 3 to 6. Write that number down, that's your full emergency fund goal, and just knowing it makes the whole thing feel possible. Second, open a separate high-yield savings account, or if you have one, get ready to use it just for this. Keeping this money away from your checking is what protects it from being spent. Third, set up one automatic transfer into it, starting on your next payday, even a small amount to build the habit, and find one quick source of cash this week, something to sell or one expense to cut, to kickstart your starter 1,000. Calculate the number, open the account, automate the first transfer. If you do only one thing tonight, open that separate savings account and schedule a transfer, even a tiny one, because the emergency fund that protects you is the one that actually exists, not the one you meant to start someday. Take the first step tonight, and your future self will thank you when life throws its inevitable curveball. So let me leave you with the shift that changes everything. Life is going to throw emergencies at you, that part is guaranteed, you cannot avoid it. The only real choice you get is whether those emergencies find you prepared or exposed. Without a fund, every surprise is a potential disaster that pushes you into debt and panic and undoes your progress. But with one, that exact same surprise becomes a minor bump, you pay it from your cushion, replace it over time, and keep moving forward like nothing happened. That is the incredible power of this one simple thing. It doesn't just protect your money, it protects your peace of mind, your sleep, and your ability to make calm decisions instead of desperate ones. An emergency fund is what separates people who get knocked down by life from people who barely feel the hit. And the beautiful part is you don't need to be rich to build one, you just need to start, sprint to your first 1,000, then automate your way to a full cushion. Do that, and you go from one emergency away from disaster, to genuinely, deeply secure. Now, since the perfect home for your fund is a high-yield savings account, I made a full video breaking down exactly how those work and how to pick the best one. Watch it next. So let's bring it home. Most people are one emergency away from disaster, and the one thing that fixes it is an emergency fund, your personal financial insurance. It's the foundation everything else is built on, because without it, a single surprise can become high-interest debt and undo years of progress. Build it in 2 stages, sprint to a starter $1,000 fast by selling things, cutting hard for a short push, and grabbing windfalls, then automate your way up to 3 to 6 months of essential expenses. Keep it safe, separate, and accessible in a high-yield savings account, treat it as insurance and not an investment, use it only for real emergencies, and refill it after. Pick one move tonight, calculate your target number, open a separate high-yield savings account, and automate your very first transfer. That single step is the difference between hoping nothing goes wrong and knowing you're protected. Now here's your perfect next watch. The ideal home for your emergency fund is a high-yield savings account, and I broke down exactly how they work and how to pick the best one in another video. Go see it right now. Subscribe to Money Decoded USA. Real money help for everyday Americans, no hype. I'll see you in the next one.